Yeah, good morning. So I still owe you the last results from yesterday. So
hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
So we left pretty good Santa Rosa, where we parked, and then had in our travel trailer, had our dinner there, and then we charged up to, let's say, 95%. It was only 85 miles to go. Effectively, we charged without trailer for 270 miles or so. And what came out of that is, which was enough to make it to the next destination, which is only 83 miles away. I think we arrived with about 20% left. But the consumption went to, and let me tell you that the daily was 263 miles, 216 kilowatt hours, and watt hours per miles was 822. And the reason for that was it went up and down the hill, and most of the time uphill, because we are now at 6,400 feet high, and that's quite a lot. And now we're staying here in the RV park. We came up about 9 o'clock at night or so. We're getting ready for breakfast now, and then we're heading out to Albuquerque, to the supercharger there. And before we do a little bit shopping, and then we're going to the next Grand New Mexico. The reason why I'm selecting these superchargers, or why I'm selecting exactly these, is if you don't make it from one supercharger to another because of your trailer and your load, and even by driving only 55, I'm selecting a stay in between in an RV park where there's a charger in between, and I'm always asking for a 50 amp outlet there. So I'm plugging in on one 240 volt with 50 amp outlet, charging the car. On the other one, 30 amp outlet, 120 volt. That's for the trailer. And then I would have another one. But that's pretty enough power. The trailer is for the warm water heating, for all electricity, and so on. And I'm doing good with this. And then I'm pulling through. And usually, when I want to continue on the next day, just leave that car up. I lift up the trailer with those legs there on all four corners there a little bit, so that the trailer stays stable. But I do not disconnect the trailer from the car, because then the next morning we want to continue. Yeah, was an interesting trip. We're going a little bit downhill to Albuquerque, and then a little bit up again to Grand KOA RV Park. And that can be a nice one, we find out. But the other difference, what I know, is that in Grand, they intend to build another supercharger. And that's exactly the right spot, because just in the middle between Albuquerque and Gallup, and Albuquerque and Gallup is pretty long stretch. Yeah, that was all for today, and let's see for the review of the last day, and let's see what's coming this day. Yeah, now we're on the way to Albuquerque, and we are climbing hills and going down hills here. And I talked to the RV park manager, and she told me that she has people who are staying there permanently as well, because they are building 1,700 windmills here in New Mexico. So New Mexico will get a lot of windmills, probably on every windy possible area here. And with that energy and so many population, they might feed the entire state of New Mexico and other states as well with electricity. And maybe we need battery power as well to store the wind energy if they have low wind. So that would be interesting to know. So that probably takes for the next 5 years or so. That's their plan. I think that was interesting. Maybe you are interested in that as well. So we're now at Cirillo's or Santa Fe. There's an exit here. We don't take that. It's a mountain pass to Santa Fe. So here's a portion of the historical Route 66. You can visit that or see that. We are still alongside Route 66. Yeah, some interesting pictures here in the mountains, about almost 2,000 feet high. Yep, done with the supercharger in Albuquerque, and I had another interview with a Model Y owner. I don't know if I bring that before or after this trip, but interesting because both of the Model Y owner who I've interviewed on that trip had almost the same problems with the paint. But that comes in an extra movie, an extra video. Now we are easy 95% charged on the Albuquerque supercharger. Came in there straight, and there was a portion of that supercharger is where you can connect from the back. That's also not in the back, and they connect directly while I'm driving in. That was good. Again, I didn't have to disconnect. That was good. And now we are already, it's about 1 o'clock, and we are already heading towards the Grand. There will be a supercharger in Grand, and I think this is in planning, but towards Grand, the supercharger there, and there we will be heading to the KOA, and then charge there with 50 amp outlet overnight and stay there. This time with a really short trip. Show you a little bit of New Mexico again here, and dry grassland. Not much different as from Texas. Long road here on I-40, parallel to US 66, or maybe that was US 66. Yeah. And then we have an easy stay at KOA in Grand, charge up there, have a relaxing day for vacation. Oh, by the way, we also, on the trip back, we charged up at our food and drink supply at Whole Food here. And we have enough for a couple of days now, stored it all away. And then we're gonna stay here now at the KOA and relax in the day. It's a tornado. As hot air rises up, and maybe you can see that. To wait for a better one day. Now we are already in Grand, and now you know the reason why we had to stay there, because there are 160 miles difference between Gallup, New Mexico and Albuquerque, and you will not make it there with a trailer because those 160 miles is just too long. You also see that there on the picture where it shows in the Better Road Planner an orange strip. So we had to stay there overnight. There was no other chance. A few impressions about the Malpaí, and that's translated, I think, Badlands. Basically, the Badland on there is the Vulcan. See that? That's how an RV park looks like. And there is an RV, a Porsche, pulling a trailer about the same size as we have. But it's fuel.
Kommt man ja nicht hin.
So that is volcanic ground. Volcanic earth. From about 9 volcanoes or so. Oh, you can stop out here. Yeah guys, you would not believe that, but there are about 9 volcanoes here. And it's called 1000+mi. Yeah, that means basically Badlands. Guys, look at this. There's really sharp lava stone. Really sharp edges. And see that porous there? That is when lava comes up from the low ground. I did not expect New Mexico had volcanoes.